Hello everyone, I'm the Enforcer, and welcome to the breaking news. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and support us on Patreon, link in the description below. Russian forces have been announced today to be having massive problems in the southern front due to a lack of morale, a lack of supplies, and an overall lack of manpower. This has come out from a statement from the Institute for the Study of War, and their statement has been inspired by the statements of Russian milbloggers who have been commenting on the Russian situation in the war from the Russian side. Of course, according to the report, low morale, infighting, and equipment shortages extend along the entire front line, but are, of course, the most important in the southern front. Along the length of the southern front, a Ukrainian offensive is occurring from end to end, all the way from the area around the village of Piatsky-Kansky and Lukove, and all the way over to the area of Volodar. Ukrainian forces have steadily been attempting advances in every direction. Of course, the two most successful directions have been the village chain from Velika Novosilka to Staromanivka, and also the gap that has currently been created in the lines near Robotyne. These two gaps pose a serious issue for the Russian army, and due to the lack of supplies and manpower, the Russians will most likely not have the ability to mount a proper defense, and what is further exacerbating the issues is the incredibly low morale that the Russian army is continuing to endure, and from what we understand, the morale is steadily dropping as the Ukrainians continue to make minor advances in this area. The Ukrainians have also reached the Surovikin line right outside of Rbove. The Surovikin line around the Robotyne area moves just north of the city area of Rbove and then heads directly south and then levels out and heads west again right in front of Solodka Balka, meaning that the Ukrainians are currently engaged with the first defensive line of the Surovikin defensive positions, but they have not made it to the rest of it in the area. However, this is once again showing that Russian morale is quite low. According to the Russian military at the beginning of this counteroffensive, they claimed that the Ukrainians would never even make it to the Surovikin line at all. And we're already seeing that the Ukrainians have made it to the first defensive positions of the Surovikin line and are currently fighting on them right now. We don't know how much progress they'll have, but what we have seen from the Robotyne area is that the position has been stabilized well enough today that they have been able to move armed forces into the village with the sole purpose of evacuating Ukrainian citizens. This came from Clash Report today, and we got to see a small video clip, more so of a compilation, of the 47th Brigade conducting these evacuation attempts. We can see them right here in these multiple clips driving Bradleys into the town of Robotyne and getting Ukrainian citizens loaded into the APCs and then evacuating them out of the area. Many citizens had been forcibly evacuated from by the Russians or had left the village before the war had even reached them, way back around a year and a half ago. But some, regardless, still remained, and we can see that the Ukrainians have been managing to get them out.
Та думаю, що да, в порядку. Думаю, що скоро побачимось.
Привіт. Привіт. Сонечко моє. Як ми скучили за вами.
Ми дуже за вами скучили. Скоро ж побачимося.
Of course, we can see many people are overwhelmed with emotion.
Води, і поки не стало світла, потім не стало хліба. Городик ми посадили, то бігали між пострілами. Трошки підкопнемо картопельки, то таке сяке їли.
А скільки вам років?
52 було влітку.
О, як святкували день народження?
Я вам скажу, у мене будуть шикарні подарунки. Мені подарували пиріжки з шовковицею, подарували 3 хлібини, мама принесла букет троянд, а кум приніс пів'ящика бубликів, які знайшов.
We can then see the Ukrainian vehicles around Robotyne for a small while. But of course, we can see the emotions are overwhelming, and it's great to see that these people have finally been evacuated.
Ми навіть не могли повірити, що це наші. Це такі молодці хлопці. Ми дуже вдячні хлопцям.
We're going to be ending the clip right here, but one thing I think is very important for everyone to get from this clip is that it is amazing to see that the Ukrainian army is going through efforts in the middle of an ongoing battle in the area to evacuate Ukrainian citizenry. The other, more important part of this entire video is that they were able to get into the village and evacuate these citizens. For a while now, many people have been saying that Robotyne has not been liberated and is still a part of the active front line. But going off of what we're seeing in this video, this could not be true. You see, we saw a Ukrainian armored personnel carrier going all the way down the road in film to about right here at full speed, meaning that they know in the video that there are no Russian forces inside of Robotyne at this point, and they also effected an evacuation of Ukrainian citizens from the village, showing that the frontline situation has largely stabilized outside of the village and further south. And this once again confirms that the village of Robotyne has been liberated for some while, but now the position has become stable enough that the Ukrainian army could divert and focus their efforts on getting the Ukrainian citizens out of Robotyne and into safety. This is, of course, also showing that they are still making frontline progress in that area of the country, and will hopefully continue to make that kind of frontline progress and eventually reach the Surovikin line just north of Solodka and south of Ilchinkove. Moving on from that area of Ukraine and into Russia, we have heard some breaking news today that General Surovikin has been relieved of his post as the commander of the Russian Space Forces. This came out today. We have not gotten official text on this, of course. Nexta has also stated that as well, but we have been hearing the reports today. The Russian government, in their usual way of doing things, is saying that they are going, well, Surovikin is going on a little bit of a short vacation. Although we all know that this is going to be a permanent relief of duty and most likely a relief of the command as well. It's great news to hear, and hopefully we'll continue to hear of the Purge reaching more and more Russian generals as the war goes on. We've also been hearing that Surovikin's pet project, along with Yevgeny Prigozhin's, the Wagner Group, is no longer fighting in Ukraine whatsoever at this point. There isn't even a single Wagner soldier inside of the territory of Ukraine. But we, of course, did not include that into the news today as an official bulletin because it's somewhat small news. So everyone's kind of known that for about a month or two at this point. But moving on into Moscow, we have seen that the city of Moscow has come under drone attack once more. And it does appear that the Russians are once again either completely helpless against the attacks, or these attacks are just ramping up in scale, regardless of the success. Before we even go into this, I know many people will have already heard the statements made by the Russian government saying that it was 2 Ukrainian drones that flew into the city of Moscow, and they managed to shoot down both of them. I also have to remind y'all that they stated a good while ago, well, not that long ago actually, up at the airfield at Solty, or Soltsi more so, that no aircraft had been destroyed, only one Tu-22 bomber had been damaged, and it was lightly damaged. And then the next day after they made that statement, a picture came out from Soltsi showing one Tu-22M engulfed in flames entirely and completely destroyed. So I want y'all to keep in mind that Russian statements are not always true, and the Russians go out of their way to sugarcoat things so much that one could become diabetic if you listen to their statements far too much. We did see explosions emanating from the Moscow area, particularly the northwestern side of the metropolitan area, as it appears the Ukrainian drone attacks are once again trying to target military infrastructure of the Russian army. We can see a small cloud right there, a mushroom cloud, rising from one of the explosions, but we also got a video clip in the northwestern area of Moscow showing one of these drones exploding in real time, and here's the clip. And with how that explosion occurred, although we can't see much of it rather than the periphery, I would assume that this drone did hit its target. We don't know what that target is, but it does appear that this video caught it once again hitting its target. Of course, Flytex News also stated Russian sources say a drone was shot down, but we know that that's usually not true. They also said that the drones that were going towards Soltsi had only caused minor damage, and then a picture came out, which has been verified, showing a Tu-22 in flames on the airfield. And that shows that they are very consistent liars, just on that one point, and that's not the first time that they've done that throughout the war either. So we largely discredit Russian comments and assume that there have been damages. It's just that we have not seen the damages yet in picture form. But we will, of course, be waiting for tomorrow to actually come up with an assessment of what kind of damage has been caused by the Ukrainian drone attacks on Moscow again. But with that, that is all of the major breaking news that we have today. I thank you all so much once again for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps this channel to keep going, and it will also keep you apprised of when these breaking news summaries come out. Of course, thank you all once again, and I will see you all in the next one.